is up, y'all? It is Chris. We're back in with another track day. As you can see in the background, we are at Pocono Raceway here in very sunny Pennsylvania. This first track day, or my first track day of the spring season. We're still in April, but it's really cold right now. So I want to test my new setup. So the wheels are, the color's irrelevant, but the brake pads, the rotors, and suspension are different. So let me get a little closer. These are the ECS brake rotors, and I think these are ECS pads as well. So the rotors are V5 slotted. The pads, I can't remember what they were. I got them in a set. And then also I put on the Bilstein coilovers. So I just wanted to test it out before, some other important stuff I'm gonna be doing later this year. When I did all this work, I felt like the suspension felt a little floaty. Like when I was turning the wheel, it kind of felt like, I don't know, felt a little uncomfortable compared to the H&R Super Sport springs that I had before. So we're here at a track day just to test out the setup. So let's get to it. Of course, it has to be raining. The brake pedal feels soft.
I took it back to them to have them, you know, flush it and then put it back in to get rid of any air bubbles or whatever. But the brake pedal still feels soft, so whatever they did, they got to do it again. They got to flush it. I don't know. I don't know if it's because of this high temperature brake fluid. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't feel confidence inspiring, if that makes sense. After the second session, I started hearing this weird metallic noise outside the car as I'm pumping the brake pedal. So take a listen. Alright, so I decided to leave after the second session. Again, there are 3 sessions, each are 20 minutes long, and I just left after the second one. As you saw in the video, it was raining. These are Toyo Archer Blade R tires. They're not the best in the rain, so I figured, you know, I got what I came for. I got, you know, some experience, some information about the brakes and the setup, the coilovers and all that, and that's what I want to get into now and explain to you guys. So the brake pedal started to feel soft after maybe 10 minutes into the second session. Actually, after the first session, I felt like it was a little soft as well. I have Motul high temperature brake fluid, as I probably said in another video. The pedal was soft then as well. So the problem may not be the rotors or the pads, because it started happening after I changed the fluid, but not after I changed the kit, the brake kit and the rotors and the pads. So that's a whole separate problem. As for the rotors and the pads, I think they probably were okay. So it was about 60 degrees. It was kind of cold. So it wasn't that hot for the brakes to, you know, really experience any issues. It was kind of cool today. But I was able to come to a stop just fine. I was doing like 140 miles an hour on the main stretch back at Pocono Raceway. And that's separate from the brake pedal getting soft. The coilovers now, I think that's something that I'm gonna caveat this by saying I'm not a professional driver. I'm just a guy having fun. So, you know, what that means is I may not even be pushing the car to its limits, pushing the setup to its limits. You know, I'm just learning, having some fun. However, I kind of feel like there was still some body roll in the coilover kit. And the body roll was similar to the H&R Super Sport springs that I had previously. And as a reminder, those springs were quite old. I had them for about 7 years before I changed to the coilovers. They were sagging a little bit in the back. However, when I was going around those corners back at Pocono Raceway, the amount of body roll that I experienced felt similar. So I don't think I've experienced a big enough difference with these coilovers. However, I'm also going to be getting them dialed in a little bit. So this Saturday, I'm gonna go to in-track again to have them, you know, dial them in, change my tires, all that stuff. Anyway, I guess we just call the video here. I will see you all in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.